Hey guys, welcome to Surf and Show. I'm Noel Salas, and today's episode 1 of our How to Surf Better tutorials, and the new topic is paddling. This is going to be fun. Sit back, get your favorite drink, enjoy the show. Now, since we started our How to Surf Better tutorials, I've had a lot of requests for a series on better paddle technique and reading waves. And I believe that our content best suits that lower end, intermediate, all the way to expert level surfers. With that being said, a beginner surfer will benefit from watching this series. However, I'm really speaking to surfers that are already catching waves, popping to their feet quickly, getting down the line, and working on maneuvers. Now remember guys, each topic is a series. So there's multiple episodes, and the deeper we go in the series, it gets more advanced. I like to give you guys a couple things to work on each topic so I don't overwhelm you. Now episode 2 is already done. You just hit the link below, become a patron, you pay $5 for the month, and you unlock this exclusive content. All right, enough about that. Let's have a look at a couple waves and see what we're working on in this episode. Now paddling for this first wave, my head's nice and still, caught it relatively easy, get a couple quick turns, really fun wave. I wish every wave was this easy to catch. Now on this wave, you can see I have my chin down, my head's real still, caught the wave, one quick pump, get a quick turn. Let's slow it down and look at it again. Now I'm paddling hard to catch this wave. Let's pause it. I want to focus on two things, getting close. The first thing is I've got my chin pushed down on the nose of the board. So I'm actually applying pressure from my chin with the weight of my head to increase momentum and weight forward as I paddle in. The other thing I want to point out is I'm keeping my head as still as possible, so that way when I'm paddling hard for this wave, I have good control over the board. I'm able to catch the wave and get off one good turn before the wave dies out. Now as I paddle for this wave, I shift my weight forward. I realize I have it. Let's pause it right here. Let's get in close. I just want to point out that I have my arms forward out in front of me. By putting my arms forward, I am once again shifting my weight forward to the front of the board, so that way I can catch the wave, get me in over that ledge, pop to my feet, and get a few turns. So a couple different techniques to shift that weight forward and catch waves easier. Now that we've seen a few waves and we know what we're working on, I want to cover a couple of basic things that you should already be doing. I want to talk about laying on the board while paddling. Every board has a sweet spot. So that's where you lay on the board, and to get maximum glide, you want the board to be sitting in a neutral state on the water surface. So if this was on the water, this would be neutral, meaning pretty even, so it's going to have good glide. Let me say that if I'm laying a little bit further back on the board, it would be kind of tilted like this. So that's going to have some drag, so I want to keep it nice and level. And if I'm in the water and we're looking at the nose of the board and how far it is from the water surface, I would say 1 inch to 2 inches is where I like it to have maximum glide. And I'm talking about that when we're paddling out to the lineup, right? A lot of tutorials out there talk about having arch in your back. Now, us as intermediate level surfers should already have that worked out. The arch in the back, for me, happens by default when I get on the board and start to paddle. If I want this board to have more glide when I'm paddling out or catching into waves, the idea is to thrust my hips and my chest firmly on the board, more forward than back, to have the most glide and momentum when I'm paddling. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is what I see a lot of intermediate level surfers doing. Even advanced level surfers do this. Now, I showed a wave of me paddling, and I didn't have to paddle very hard to get into that wave, and my chin wasn't closer on the board. Right? I quickly paddled in, got 2 turns, and the wave was over. Now, where I surf, it's highly competitive. One of the things that I notice is that we keep sitting further and further out, waiting for set waves to come in, and the further I go outside of where that wave wants to break, the faster I have to paddle to get into it and position myself to be in the right spot for that wave to be mine. Now, we saw a wave where I'm paddling next to other people, and when I'm paddling, I've got my chin down on the board and I've got a lot of weight shifted forward to get this board to get gliding and have as much speed as possible. And we saw another guy, he had his head down, but his head was all over the place. What we want to do is we want to keep our head as still as possible, and I like to put my chin on the board to take the weight of my head and actually take the board from right here to a neutral state. And when I put my chin down on the board, I'm actually tilting it a little bit this way, so that way it can get me into that wave and over the ledge a little bit quicker. Now, the reason I'm speaking to intermediate level surfers is because a beginner surfer, with them putting their chin down and really trying to get that board to be in this state for maximum glide and momentum forward, they have a tendency to purl. So it's really important, guys, we want to keep our head still and our chin down. Now, the other thing I wanted to cover, is when we're paddling in, I see a lot of intermediate level surfers paddling in and they go to stand up too soon. Then the wave goes by and they miss out on a great wave. There is this timing where we catch a wave, we kind of feel like it's picking us up, and then we pop to our feet and we begin to surf. What I like to do at times, if I'm right on the fence of catching it or not catching it, I have that forward momentum in the glide, I'll put my hands out in front of me. If I put my hands out in front of me, what's that gonna do? Let's picture my chin down and my hands out in front of me. That's shifting more weight. Now the weight of my shoulders and my hands being forward is gonna actually give me more of a tipping point going forward, so I can carry that momentum and I don't even need to paddle more. Now, these techniques, guys, should be something that you can apply right now to what you're currently doing and see huge increase, not only in paddle speed, but you're gonna catch more waves. All right, enough about that. Let's get out on a carver and talk about something important about pedaling on your skateboard that we can relate to on our surfboard. All right, guys, so no cones for this exercise. I've got my Rad Ripper C7 truck, back truck, both set to medium. And what I want for you guys more than anything is for you to have good control over your surf skate. I want to liken pushing on our surf skate and getting to our feet on the right place of the board, similar to when we paddle for a wave, we catch the wave, we pop up, and we start to surf down the line. Now, I've been doing surf skate lessons with really good surfers, and when we get on a surf skate, they're actually pretty good on their surf skate when we actually do the exercises. However, they push, get their feet set, and it looks awkward and it takes them a while. So they have to be up and riding their surf skate for a little while, get their feet set, and then they can go into the drill. So it's really simple for me. What I want for you guys is to just get on your surf skate, push, and start to do your carving. My son's a really good street skateboarder, so he does a lot of kick flips, heel flips, he does all the tricks. And I remember when we first started, he was learning how to ollie, and he kept talking to me about he wanted to get higher. And every time I saw him get on his skateboard, he barely had any control, and it looked like he couldn't even push it to get down the street, and he's already learning to do tricks. Let's get good control of our surf skate and then translate that into the ocean. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is, can you get on your surf skate, one push, and start carving? You see how fast I got my posture, my feet were correct, and you can tell I spend a lot of time on my surf skate. Watch how fast this is, guys. I'm right into it. That's what happens when I catch a wave. I paddle and I catch, I pop right to my feet. There's not a lot of time, especially if you're surfing fast beach breaks, to get your feet set, get into a bottom turn, and then hit that first turn. The only way to get good at surfing is to go surfing a lot. The only way to be good at paddling, learn good paddle techniques, and then go out and practice a bunch. Same with your surf skate. If you're not on it all the time and you're not practicing a good one push takeoff, then you're gonna struggle getting better. So spend a lot of time on your surf skate. It'll translate into your surfing. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed episode 1. Episode 2's done. It's at your fingertips. Just hit the link below, become a patron, and enjoy. Look, if you like our show, subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss an episode, and give us a thumbs up if you like our content. Until next time, we'll see you in the water. Bye-bye.